Good afternoon. You're probably wondering why we're not in the mountains today. We decided to do this video from home. We're going to be discussing why we drive two Jeeps and what they're equipped with. I want to send a special thanks out to all the subscribers and new subscribers of our channel. I got to send out a special one for a little boy that watches our YouTube videos now every time that we put one out. His name is Thomas. He's 7 years old, and he just loves Jeeps and everything about them. So one day I think I'll try and get Thomas to come out with us and show him what the Jeeps actually do. But we're going to start with my Jeep first. We're going to give it a quick tour. And for those of you who already know about Jeeps and not interested, I understand. But first we're going to go over what we got and why we got two.
Okay.
It's because I can't drive with her.
Can't drive with you.
And Jeeps are so personalized, right? You want to do things to your own, and the experience of 4x4ing obviously is driving your own vehicle out there, and I think it's fun. It's bottom line fun, right?
Yep.
So my Jeep, first off, is a 2018. It's a four-door Jeep, so it's called a JKU. It's got a V6 engine, 3.6 liter. It's not the most powerful engine, but it's one of the ones that Jeep has in its lineup. I got an S-Pod in here, and what the S-Pod is, if a lot of people don't know, it's what controls all my accessories, all my lights that we put on them. We're in the process of putting some under lights here for at night driving. My wife, we bought a different one. It's a little bit more updated, but that's kind of what they look like under the hood. They just got a bunch of relays. They're all fused for different accessories and the wiring that goes out to the accessories. Pretty straightforward stuff. I'm an electrician, so it's pretty straightforward, but for those that aren't, might take a little bit of watching some people's videos, or let's face it, if you got any questions, put them in the comments. I can help you out that way. Under the hood, there's not really too much that we've done under the hood here. I got a yellow top battery that I just put in. Basically, I got one of those for the reason of didn't have enough power or jam to do what I needed it to do. I find with Jeeps you need a lot of accessories and stuff like that. I run a Smittybilt winch. It's an X20 or an X20. It's a waterproof winch. It's a synthetic rope on it. It's a 10,000 pound pulling strength. We got a factory 55 lead on it. It's synthetic rope. And let's face it, you don't need winches for Jeeps. It's to pull everybody else out. That's why we have them, right? So anyways, I'm not knocking anybody's vehicle. Everybody's got a capable vehicle as long as they do some work to them. I got a 2.5-inch lift suspension. It is a zone suspension. I run the wheel that's called Fast, a company named Fast HD. And that's the tire itself, the steel. And it's wrapped with a BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tire. These tires are absolutely awesome. They're a 35-inch tire by 12.5 on a 17-inch rim. They're excellent. They really are. They're a little bit, I don't know, I guess in mud and snow they have their tolerances, but they get you through it. They're a very good tire. I might try their KO3s next time around, but as for what we use them for, awesome. Really good wearing tire. I've never had any issues with them. We have 5 on the whole vehicle. The spare we rotate in through oil changes. So once again, very good buy if you're looking for a good solid tire to purchase. And Colleen's got a different set of rims that we'll go over. Just the black. They're a lot easier to clean, and Jeeps get quite muddy. So this star pattern nice rim, looks all good, but they're very hard to keep clean. If you do maintenance on your vehicle, like we do always, we like to show that our vehicles are kept clean. I put a TerraFlex rack system on here for my rooftop tent. They actually come with slats that go across from rail to rail, but they're very, very expensive, and I just haven't had the need for them right yet. So what else can I tell you? That's pretty much it on the outside of our Jeeps. I got some lights, like I said, putting under. I'm going to show you a video down the road where I put this on. I've came up with this system for the third light. But I got a full video that I'll somewhere share down the line. I got it all ready to go. It's just I won't be sharing it on this one. We put these steps on. These are also to get up to our rooftop tent. I painted all these. I've accessorized the paint. Like I said, with Jeeps, you want to kind of make it your own. I've done a few things off what I see on some of the YouTube videos. For one is I accent my grills I painted those just to set apart from other Jeep models, you know, and this is the crystal metallic paint that I've chosen for my Jeep. It's like Starbucks. It's a fancy name for sparkly gray, but it's a nice color. It really shows nice. It sort of hides the scratches a little bit too. But overall, totally impressed with this Jeep. I have no negatives. Maybe one negative is probably just the comfort of the seats. They could be a lot better for bigger guys. And like most videos say, the bolster part of the seat, you know, gets into the back of your legs. And I tend to agree with that. You know, it's everything else I like. It's very capable. I haven't had any issues with my Jeep. So got a spare tire, full-size tire, 35-inch to match. A lot of guys don't do that, but I think if you're broken down, I swap them out every time I do an oil change. I got the swing out gate from Smittybilt on this particular bumper. It comes with, you can get a high lift jack for it. I don't trust those, so I won't be using this. I might use it for another mount system later on in the time when I get there. Antenna for CB, so you can put that on. Basically the tow hooks, and inside the back of my Jeep, we'll start there. I got the Dirty Dog liner, and it doesn't matter what the Dirty Dog does. It's a great product. Love it. Keeps my interior clean. It doesn't keep the dog hair out though. I got a golden retriever, and it's like every time I open my doors, I got 3 retrievers. So it's full of hair always. We clean it out constantly after every trip, but it's tough when you got a dog with long hair. I purchased this offline. It's an Ace carrying system, a rack, and it supports to the frame. Like it's got 2 rails underneath here that attach over to the side rail. I had to put some strut on it to lift it up a little bit, just to clear, because I have a recline on the back seats, a slight recline. It's a kit you can get with that as well, just to make it more comfortable for the people in the back. When my kids used to come with us, you know, it was long drives and Jeeps aren't the most comfortable. So this product here is by Ace, and you know, we just keep everything in it that we need, our tent stuff, you know, shovels, first aid kits, you know, our air pumps, and just recovery kits. I got this new Smittybilt Kinetic rope. It's a 1-inch by 30 feet. We've used it once. We showed in one of our videos how we pulled Colleen out, and I recommend these strongly to anybody with a Kinetic rope. Is the way to go. Uses kinetic energy to recover stuck vehicles, spliced at both ends. Includes a 600D ballistic nylon storage bag. Why you'd ever need ballistic, but that's beyond me. And the product is by Smittybilt. Once again, we bought these out of pocket. Nothing that we buy on our Jeeps have been sponsored by anybody. So it gets expensive. Because what Jeep stands for is just empty each pocket. So in that note, it gets expensive in a hurry. It's pretty much back here. Like I said, I just keep blankets and stuff for your normal things. Got a fire extinguisher. I always keep a fire extinguisher on both vehicles, and just, you know, all the jackets that you need when you're out on the trail. That's pretty much it for the back of my Jeep. I'll just show you. And the reason why we have a 4-door obviously is for kids and space, and we've also taken our vehicle out in winter camping scenario where we also just sleep out of the back, where it's just, you know, sometimes you don't feel like putting the tent on and setting it up, and we just like getting away. We don't really necessarily call it camping or winter camping. We just go out and we like to get in the outdoors. So in this case, it's great. You fold the seats down, you put all those layers that we had in our tent in there, and it's fun. It's warm. Like I said, I put the diesel heater still too inside my Jeep. You know, I roll down the window a little bit and crank it up, and it gets hot in here. It doesn't, it's not something you can keep on all night. That's for okay. Back in from the cold. Hopefully you can hear me better. This is the switch pod that I mentioned that I had. So you can put all these on, and all my accessory lights on the outside come on. You can have them all off, or you can put a night light on these things so you just see them light up along the switches here. I got a gauge display that tells me what my tires are, my pressures, basically what my engine and transmission temperatures are while driving. It's also an error code reader. It's quite an interesting little thing. Hard to read because you have to really duck under to see it, but nonetheless, it does what I need it to do. We outfitted both Jeeps with the dash cams because everybody knows what Calgary drivers are like, so we kind of we take the footage. Also, if we see something worthwhile taking on the trail, we'll pull the memory card from it and we'll go and download images. This is a rugged ridge mount, but with that mob armor, we've mounted it right to it. All it's for is phone mounts. Put these little metal strips on the back, and you can put your phone there. You can record from that area as well. It's all about recording when you're on YouTube, so it comes quite in handy. I put these little hand grabs on here, just basically for both passenger and driver when we get into the steep stuff. We haven't had to use those yet, but they're there anyways. All these accents, once again, I painted. It looked kind of gimmicky at first, but I kind of liked it when I seen it. You know, I was like, well, everybody's doing it, and must, you know, it kind of matched the personality right away, so I did it for the interior of mine. I've matched the back, you know, the hand grabs. There's enough videos online on how to do that too. And the speaker grills, I've done that. And this is just the back seat, you know, for the kids. And like I said, I fold that down, and the dirty dog cover comes right to the front. So my golden retriever, Ruby, we also have another golden retriever, but she's just too old, and, you know, she can't see anymore. So we technically don't bring her on along with the rides. It's just too much for her. She can't balance properly, and it's just not fair to her. So we kind of keep her at home when we can. But Ruby, she's a young one. She likes to get out, and she loves the Jeep rides and getting out with us. So pretty much standard for every Jeep that I think, you know, this one has the towing package on it, so it can pull up to 3,500 pounds. It's got the lockers front and back, so this thing can go through pretty much anything. I've tried it last weekend up at Limestone Mountain, and that video was out last week. So if you get a chance, have a look at it and see what you think, and see what the Jeep can do. Like, it can go through quite a bit. I'm kind of impressed what I've used it for anyways, and, you know, put anything in front of it and it'll climb it. So they like to work, and, you know, it's like any vehicle. It's fun to drive. And I think Jeeps, I don't know, I've had the big Duramax before, and 35-foot trailer that we towed behind, but I tell you, nothing beats getting outdoors in the backcountry there where there's nobody. It becomes too commercialized, and really is it camping when you got satellite and all that stuff and showers, and then you're just, you know, you become taking your home with you is all you're doing. And you see enough of videos online about that with, you know, truck campers and everything like that, people doing their videos. So nothing to knock anybody. They do what they do and they enjoy it. So for me, this is the way to go. I love it, and we'll continue doing it with the Jeep.
So Paul just finished up with the introduction on his Jeep. I'll start on mine. I own a 2021 Jeep Rubicon JL. Two-door, best Jeep in my books, hands down. I love the two-door. I'm more partial to the two-door than I am the four-door. I'm still a newbie at a lot of this outdoor 4x4, so I have been learning quite a bit as I go with Paul. He's teaching me the ropes of everything, and so just bear with me. There's a lot of things that I don't know. Like I said, I'm putting the efforts to learning it. So I'll start off. My Jeep is named Rager. It's called Rager for a reason. I tend to be a little bit rough on myself when I'm out in the backcountry, and I make an error and stuff like that. There's a lot of pressure on me. I am a type 1 diabetic, so there's a little bit more, got to think about sugar levels. I've got to think about, you know, do I have all my pump supplies and everything else? So there's not a whole lot of female 4x4 enthusiasts, not that I have met anyways. When I'm in the backcountry, it's a lot of guys. So, you know, I think I'm just trying to keep up with people I shouldn't try to be keeping up with. But I try my best, and so that's kind of why I named my Jeep Rager. Let's start at the front of the Jeep. My Jeep is a V6. It's exactly like Paul's engine. Not much difference really in it. It's a V6 6-speed manual transmission. I'm not going to go into everything because, like I said, not a mechanic. I don't know much about the engine front end part of things, but I am learning as I go. Paul already talked about his auxiliary box. Mine is a VO switch. I'll actually show you the pod when I get into the Jeep. I did put a bull bar on mine. And also just found a cheap light bar. I'm not really keen on the light bars that go on the top of the Jeep. I want to save that for possibility of putting racks up there and whatnot. So I kept the light bars down below. I have a Warren winch, 8500. and factory 55 attachment. The Warren winch is a synthetic rope, and all LEDs. And then I also added my ditch lights and removed the factory antenna to stubby. My wheels are RTX off-road. I find these wheels are really easy to clean. I've got a 2.5-inch Mopar lift with Fox shocks. Same on front, the Fox shocks. Jeep put a gap between the fender, the back fender, and you can see that there's a gap between the back fender and the Jeep body. It is a rock and pebble collector. So I know that other Jeepers have complained about this. They've talked about this on previous videos. You basically have to place a weather stripping along the entire length of the back fender. We do it as well on the front fenders too. And that just prevents some of the pebbles, but it does keep a majority of them out. It helps a little bit. Another feature of the 2021 is the front facing camera. So I do have a full-size spare. Of course, that you have to change out and put a more heavy-duty tire carrier on to support the weight of a full-size tire. I also have a rear camera. So we're gonna move inside my Jeep. I'll start at the back end of the Jeep and make my way to the front. I do carry my compressor everywhere I go. Recovery/safety bag. We remove my seat, the back seat, so put out through the summertime, through the majority of our camping season. 2021, I mean, I have to say they killed it. Mine is fully loaded, leather, Rubicon seats. My seating in my Jeep is very comfortable. I'm a smaller person, obviously, than Paul, so I find the comfort level better than actually my older Jeep that I had, my 2017. The interior, the accents with the red, which I like. It actually adds quite a bit to the Jeep and just gives it that nice feeling. I like it. It's got the 8-inch screen. I've also added a VO switch, which I showed you. This feature, I love it. It kind of controls or gives extra bit of kick to the throttle so when I'm driving, it just gives that little extra power that I need. But I have to say, it's one of the features that I wouldn't change now. It has actually given me a little bit more power when I need it. I find that the rear of the 2021s are a little bit roomier than the 2017. It feels a little bit roomier, less restricting in the back.
Well, if you made it this far in the video, we want to thank you for coming along. Next week we're going to be heading out to the mountains once again, and we'll take you along.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.